This is a nice beach, if anyone's ever walked down here. I used to walk down here in the evenings earlier in the summer. It's nice. And I was walking one day when I was wearing this cloth here. It's called dhoti, for those of you that don't know. Dhoti is just like a sheet, just a simple piece of cloth. It's actually very comfortable. And so a lot of people ask that, is that comfortable? Yeah, it's very comfortable. So I was walking during the sunset, and then this man came up to me, and he saw me walking like this. He's very curious. So he asked me, he's like, "What are you doing here?" But he kind of asked like in a kind of like challenging way, kind of like, "What are you doing?" You know. So he kind of said it more like,
You were in the wrong place.
yeah. But actually, I appreciated his directness, because it's cool. Sometimes, people think that, but they won't say it. But he was actually communicating. It's like, "What is this? Why are you dressed like this?" So he said, and he asked me my name and stuff like this. So I was talking to him, and he could see that I was obviously American. I grew up in America. And I was wearing this sheet, this dhoti. So he was like, "So how is it that you're from America, but you've taken this Indian religion?" And I said, okay. So I saw him wearing a Gucci shirt, right? It's a nice shirt. It's a nice shirt. Gucci, made in Italy, right? So I was like, "Hey, how come you're American, but you're wearing this Italian shirt?" And I was like, "Are you Italian?" Because he was saying, "Well, you're not Indian. How can you?" So I said, well, actually, you buy the Gucci shirt from Italy because it's good quality, right? Is it not? So he's like, "Yeah, actually, that's why." So I said, exactly. So not talking about the cloth that I'm wearing, but I'm talking about the philosophy, the Vedic philosophy, the ancient yoga philosophy of India. So I said, similarly, this is good knowledge. So it's imported from India. So it doesn't mean that I'm Indian. And in fact, I didn't choose to practice bhakti yoga or yoga lifestyle so I can become Indian, or so I can feel myself to be Indian. So similarly, they give this example, just like gold. If somebody offers you pure gold, and they say it's pure gold, tested, 100% gold, you're not going to ask, is it American or Indian pure gold? I'll take it only if it's American pure gold. No, pure gold is pure gold. So wherever you get pure gold, it's the essence, it's the substance. So similarly, we can take knowledge. We can take anything which is of good quality. You want to take it. So that's what Krishna Lounge we try to discuss is a community for spiritual revolution. In other words, the revolution which will take place from Krishna Lounge is the spiritual revolution. So what is spiritual? That's another question. So a lot of times nowadays, spiritual is a hobby. It's something you do. It's a group maybe that you associate with. I'm spiritual. Okay, what's your group? What's your spiritual group? Are you Muslim? Are you Christian? Are you Hindu? Which one are you? You got to be one. So this idea of spiritual can conjure up many ideas, and in fact, spirit, if you start talking just the word spirit, you'll get all kind of answers. If you ask people, what's spirit? Spirit is the ghost. Spirit is, my spirits are high today. I have good spirits today. Spirit is, team spirit. You have a, good attitude. Spirit can mean so many different things, but actually if you look at the actual definition of the word, it comes from this word anima. So anima, I believe, is a Latin or Greek? So Greek word. It means that which animates. So the word animal is an animated living creature. So anima is that which animates. So when we're talking about spiritual or spirit, we're talking about this kind of knowledge. So we're importing some knowledge from India. It's good quality. What is this knowledge? This knowledge is universal knowledge. It's about spirit. But we're not talking about a group of people. Okay, I'm spiritual. So that means like I hang out with a peaceful group of people. Of course, being spiritual can mean being peaceful, but it doesn't mean necessarily to take a label. And this is the exact problem with our culture today. To be spiritual, you got to take a label. Which one are you? Are you Hindu or Christian? It's not about knowledge. It's not about acquiring knowledge of how the universe works. And it's not a scientific study of the things in the universe. It's a label. It's something that you take. So this is kind of the direction that this word spirit, so we try, I think it's important to kind of divide that. No, we should take a scientific look at this universe and that which comprises it. And what the Vedic knowledge, or Vedic ancient Indian knowledge, says from the Sanskrit text is, the first lesson is that this world is not everything you just see with the two eyes, these two eyes. In other words, these two eyes can see matter, but they cannot perceive spirit, but that doesn't mean that spirit does not exist simply because the eyes cannot see it. So this world is functioning by the combination of two ingredients. And that's the first lesson that we take from the Vedas or yoga philosophy. Is you're not this body. This body is a vehicle for consciousness. So I believe there's one text in the Bhagavad Gita, it's the ancient classic, one of the most revered classics of yoga, and it pretty much says that just birth and death are external to the self. In fact, they're compared to clothes. So when the guy wearing Gucci, he's not his shirt, he's wearing the shirt. So similarly, we could think of it that way. We're not this body, we're kind of wearing this body. So when the shirt is not who we are, it's external. When it gets old, then you take off the shirt and you get a new shirt. So this is what we understand. We're not this body, we're consciousness. Consciousness is using body like a vehicle. So this mystery, the mystery of consciousness, it baffles modern science. And actually, if you just introspect a little bit, you can see there's a great difference. With computer technology offers a great insight into the mystery of consciousness. What is consciousness? How is it developed? If you program a computer, let's say you take a video camera. Most of our laptops have little cameras, so they can see. Then you program the computer that whenever a red color goes in front of the camera, the computer, you can program it to actually detect that it's red, and you can program it to print out "I see red." So this is a computer program, and actually they can do things like that very easily. I don't know if you notice, those of you Facebook users, that when you upload a picture, then blam, your friend's picture's circled, his face is circled with his name next to it. And you're like, oh my God, it's like magic. How did Facebook know that was my friend? So sometimes it gets it wrong. Sometimes I've been circled and someone else. And I'm like, why do I keep getting tagged as my friend? I don't look anything like him, and I feel my ego feels offended. But just with technology, the computer can detect what a face looks like and whose it is. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So what to speak of a color, something like simple like that. So you program the computer to see a color. It sees a color and it prints out, I see a color. I see a color red. So who here would say that computer is alive? Would anyone say that machine is alive because it saw the color red and it spoke? No, it's a machine. How can a machine see? So let's get more complicated. Let's say we develop artificial intelligence. Let's go that route. Let's say we develop a machine that's so sophisticated it can recognize faces, it can talk to you, it can say, hey, how are you doing? All these things. So it's a machine that we program. Is it alive? No, it's still a computer. Is it an individual perceiving this world and feeling itself to be in this world, and does it have desires and aspirations, all these things? No. It's just a bunch of components. It's a structure of material, mechanical ingredients that we put together, and we program to do that. Now, here's the funny part. Ask a material scientist, whatever, a very advanced person, whoever's advanced in the chemistry of the brain or whatnot. You ask him, cognitive science, is that what they call it? Okay, so cognitive scientist, you ask him, what makes consciousness in a human being? And he'll tell you it's the molecules and the chemicals. He'll say that molecules, chemicals are coming together to create this conscious experience. Now, if you look at molecules and chemicals, they can all be broken down into smaller components. In other words, it is a very sophisticated computer program. So in one sense, basically modern science is telling us, or what all we can see with these two eyes and microscopes and inference, is that we are a sophisticated machine that evolved over the course of millions and millions of years. So now, why does this machine, called a human being, have all kind of rights? If somebody looks at you wrong, you sue them. You know, it's America. So how come we have so many rights? We have so many desires. And if somebody flicks you in the face walking by you in the street, just flicks you in the face, like you're going to pick a fight or you're going to call the cops, you're going to get upset. But if I take my computer, it's my computer, I bought it with my money, I programmed it to say, hi, how are you? And then I kick it in the face and I say, you're a pile of trash. Nobody's going to call the cops for abuse, computer abuse. It's not a real person. It's not a living person. But the chemical bag, the bag of chemicals and molecules and neurotransmission, which is called my brain, if somebody murders me, then everyone here is going to feel sad and they're going to have a funeral, they're going to cry, and they're going to, say, oh, I miss my friend, right? So what is the difference? There is a difference, and that's exactly the point here. We are not just a pile of chemicals. We are not just a pile of chemicals. This body is chemical, just as the computer is a machine, but we are the ones operating the machine, just as we operate the computer. So this is the treasure, or the good quality of information that we get from these ancient yoga texts. In other words, they're extremely relevant and up to date. It's highly advanced knowledge. I mean, basically, we have been told, the version we have been told in college, sometimes we give discussions about Hindu philosophy or Vedic philosophy in colleges, and basically the version we're told is that it's really old, outdated, just Hindu granny wisdom that's been passed down. And now that we have, technology, machines, and cars, like, we're just way beyond that. But that's not true. Actually, what if this knowledge was far more sophisticated than we had ever yet to embark on and discover, but not necessarily in the realm of, computer science, technology, but in the realm of consciousness. So this body is born, this body dies, and it's quite an amazing experience. Each one of us start as one little or two little cells combined to make one, and it splits into four, and in that way we all started here, and now check us out, we're all these this whole organism of cells, and this organism called the body is gonna die. There's no question about it. So this body is progressing from birth to death. So consciousness being separate, if it's not brought into being, then how can it come out of being? So that's what's being stated in the yoga text. Never was there a time did you not exist, nor will there be a time that you cease to be. We were always existing. In other words, we're not the body. So this is very important knowledge, especially in society today. And this is where the revolution comes in, is we are very busy trying to fix all kind of material problems. And what are those material problems based on? They're based on the needs of the body. does anyone want suffering? Does anyone want death? Does anyone want, an earthquake or hurricane? No. But because we have this body, we have all these problems, and we must deal with them. So as we try to deal with them, then all the complications come. So just like Wall Street, everyone's going crazy. The government, they're furious. They want people want jobs. There's all kind of job proposals now. The government, the president, he's proposing some solution. Other people are proposing a different solution. And what does it really come down to? People have physical needs, and they're frustrated. I cannot secure this physical body. So there's all kind of complication, but it's all arising from the problems of this body. So when we identify with this body, then those problems become more real, more concrete. So it's not that we should neglect the maintenance of the body, but we should know what the body's for, and basically this body enables us, this human body enables us to understand this higher reality, that we are not this body. This body is going to terminate, but we will not terminate because we are consciousness, and consciousness is not matter, it's spirit. So this is the gift, or the jewel of wisdom that comes from India, is to cultivate spiritual wisdom, not try to be overly engrossed in trying to secure a comfortable existence in this material place, which is doomed to be destroyed or to be vanquished. Rather, in other words, if you're staying in a hotel, you're not going to just stay there forever. You're going to stay there for as long as you need to, and you're going to move on. You're going to learn your lesson, you're going to move on. So if we take it in that spirit, human life is, this place is a place to learn, and it's a place to understand how we're not this body, we're spirit. It's a great opportunity that the animals do not have. So this is what we get, what I've imported from India, this knowledge. Doesn't make me Indian, doesn't make me any other religion. It's just, it's wisdom. It's simply just like I wear dhoti because it's comfortable. That's really why. And it's simple. It's very simple, it's comfortable. I stay out of the fashion game. And it's just nice. It's very nice to wear dhoti. So it's simple like that. He likes Gucci because it looks cool, it looks nice. So similarly, we take this Vedic wisdom because it's good knowledge. It gives us happiness. So thank you very much for your attention.